Hi, YouTube. Hope you're doing great. I'm having a pretty good day. It's a little warmer today, and yesterday was a little bit trying, but as far as getting Nellie into a schedule of what's going on around here, it was so different for her with the noise from the pump and the heater and me getting up and down all the time and moving around and cleaning the house and everything. Just it freaked her out. Even when I went in the bathroom and she'd sit out there, I was taking a shower, she yelled the whole time, afraid and lonely. So yeah, excuse the lighting's gonna be a little weird today because the clouds are going in and out. So um yeah, I could shut the drapes, but I don't know. I'd rather have them open. So, but yeah, so we got that kind of under control, and I went out to feed her kids out there and that other stray Yeti. And she wanted to go out, but like last night, she wanted to go out and she stood on the porch for a minute and then came back in, and it was sub-zero. So today it's about 20 degrees. And she thought about going out, and her kids were on the porch, and they came up and she hit them in their heads and came back in the house. So I knew when I went out to feed them, the only thing she really wanted to do was kind of rub it in their faces. And like I say, because of her broken leg, whether it was from a raptor, a bird, or a dog or something wild, but got her under her neck and broke her arm like from here to here in a couple places, and here. That's what's injured right now is this is and her shoulder, the bone was sticking out, and she had a hole where her shoulder was too. So whatever bit her it was or got her, she almost died. She just barely escaped. Then I was able to tape her up, and this is a wild cat. This wasn't so I was taking my chances even getting near her to try and help her out. And then Doug's cat Bob got sick, and we had to take him to the vet and straighten out. I don't know if it was thyroid problems, we're really not sure, but we had him put on liquids, to get him back going, and he's doing well. But his fur was falling out and all that, and so I didn't want to bring Nellie in until Bob felt better. Well, now they both feel a little bit better, and they get along quite well. So, and Bob's been a perfect gentleman, which is a little different from how he used to treat my little dog or my cat Bathsheba. I think he misses them, and he was rather mean to them because he was the baby and he could get away with it. But yeah, so he's been really good compared to how he used to act. Of course, he's getting older now. He's 12, so I think, if I remember right. So, um, yeah, 11 for sure. But yeah, Nellie is only like not even 3 years old yet, but she's had a rough life. The first time I saw her, she was so skinny. First time I picked her up, she couldn't have weighed more than maybe a pound and a half. And she had already had kittens. So she was really depraved and injured. And yeah, she's doing great now compared to then. She's put on weight. And I changed her fleet collar. And the one I had on her, I kept uh, making it bigger so she could grow into it. And the last one I put them on really loose for an outdoor cat. I figured if she, even though it has that quick release thing on it, it's like, well, I don't want her to choke herself getting caught on a stick or the fence or a barbed wire fence on a piece of barbed. And then, so, yeah. So I understand there's somebody that calls themselves Sweet Peace that hasn't been too peaceful to some of my friends. Well, you're on the wrong channel here because I don't play them games. Where do you live is kind of like how I am. And yes, I can find out. So, um, it's not nice to really mess with people, and I don't know why you would come over to my channel anyway. Um, what is your sweet piece? Uh, Trying to destroy people's lives and channels and that type of thing. Well, I can't get much tinier, but thanks to Darla Lama and Bruce Sees All and the people from Bruce's community coming over here and recommending me and saying hello. I wouldn't even got that many views without you. And there, like with Robin's Hood channel, he had me on a live stream and he tried to tell like even his wife to watch some of my videos and whatnot. But I think it takes a certain person with you have to really be able to connect with people to even give a shit what I'm talking about. So it's probably not the place for a lot of people that are more of this world than caring about other people in the world. This isn't the channel for you, you know. And I'm not like other people. I mean, I won't like have such filthy language that I'm going to have my channel taken down or be baited into any little shenanigans or anything like that. But I guarantee you, I will drive you crazy. So bring it on. If that's what you're here for, you might as well start it today. I'm prepared. But a word to the wise, I got friends in high places. Not like the song, Low Places, where the whiskey does what? And the beer chases my blues away. Oh, wait, what does that whiskey do? Whiskey. Dang. Okay, whatever. You know the song. Anyway, I love that song. Doug hates that song because he does have a lot. I got friends in low places too. Yeah. Who cares if they're friends? And what would you call low? Well, I think bothering people that have never done anything to you, that would be low. Um, oh, okay. Just I'm gonna light a cigarette and talk to you about people having their joy stolen, and just some of the things I've noticed on this YouTube platform, especially. But just a minute here. There's a lot of people that I used to watch or do still watch if they have videos up, that used to laugh and try to make other people laugh and really enjoyed that. And it was an important part of their day. And like all their joy's gone. It's like they don't laugh anymore. If you go and expect to hear maybe like a little joke coming from the Holy Spirit to the people, it's like it's nothing there. It's like, what happened? What happened to these people that used to be so jovial? And now all of a sudden it's like, and and you go on there and it's like, wow. And I keep expecting it to get better and it doesn't get any better. It's like, why? Why even be on there then? That's my question. Um, I'm just the kind of person that can be going through hell, like literally couldn't walk. I had a pulled spinal cord. I was never supposed to walk again. But even when my friends were carrying me into the hospital, I was laughing, you know. I guess it's all a matter of who you are and what your personality is like. Um, maybe depression is your thing. Maybe you get off on it in some kind of weird way, or making other people depressed. Maybe that's your thing. You know, I don't know. But I've had the best of the best try and get me down into the crabbies, and I'm not staying there. I don't do that. If I am sad, I can even laugh on that same day. It's like, do you ever see these people? Just a sec here, I'll take a sip and that's good. That's Colombian. Yum. Colombian coffee. Do you ever see these people that that their life really isn't even all that bad, but they go into these deep, dark, depressive modes like that last forever. And it could be like something as trivial as, and I had this happen. So, like, my older sibling got a car from my parents and I didn't. So I'm going to carry that on for, oh, I had some help in other ways, but I walked away from anything and any help because it wasn't worth what I had to put up with to get anything from somebody. It's like, I'd rather do it all by myself than to suck up to trash. But you ever see these people? They're like, oh, boo hoo, I didn't get that car. And so they'll spend like 6 months boo hooing and down in the dumps and all depressed. It's like, is that all you got? That's like the worst thing. Your mommy didn't love you? How about if you never had a mommy? How about if you were raised by people that really wanted you dead? Or, you know, there's so many worse things in the world that can happen to people besides maybe even being bullied in school. Grow the hell up. You know, I guess what I'm saying is there's people that are depressed about stuff that it doesn't even scratch the surface of what true pain and sorrow is. It's like so um menial. It's trivial compared to um the really bad things in the world, you know. And if you happen to be one of them people that have had really bad things happen to you, maybe not one thing, maybe several, um, you have to ask yourself this, okay? The people that are doing this to me or I'm around, if you can get away from people like that, um, it takes a certain type of person to hurt another person and have no concerns about it. Yeah, that's painful. It is because sometimes there are people that we love and care about, and the love doesn't go away. I mean, even if you can be madder than hell at somebody, usually, and I saw a meme and it is true. Um, Grief, sometimes anger and grief go hand in hand. It's Anger is just grief with no place to go, is what the meme said, and I really truly believe that's true. You know, so. And if we're grieving so deep and it's so dark, how do we pull ourselves out of that by ourselves? Because really nobody can do it for us, you know. And I'm actually talking not only from personal experience, but experiencing other people, excuse me, that are going through really depressive times and don't know how to pick themselves up out of that. Um, is it doing you any good to sit there and be depressive? Is there anything you can do that you like to do that will lift your spirits and get you out of that slump? You know, because it it really hurts your body physically. It will. Um, it's like, oh, here's a for instance. Have you ever cried and you've cried so hard that when you're done, you're like totally exhausted? Even if you hold those tears in or you can cry, um, the pain that you feel inside literally affects your body. So I was reading. I read on it too, but just a sec. Um, oops, I was listening to videos about dyslexia, which I am, and how ADHD and dyslexia often go hand in hand, which I kind of knew because they called me hyperactive back in the day, but that wasn't what it was. And how the brain of dyslexia is wired different. But one thing they did find out about that, and everybody has a touch of it. You can like mix up a word or something, especially if you're like had a long day or you're tired or something like that. So like people, it's something, and we all know a lot of people with the ADHD or ADD thing nowadays, just another term for the same thing. Um, but they had put me on downers when I was a kid. So here I was struggling to read, and they put me on downers. But the one main thing that they found out is that the brain, how it's wired different, has the ability to look at the bigger picture of something. And it's like even like in them word search type of things, or find the odd thing out type of thing, or in a situation, and my observation skills, we're able to grab and grasp the whole of the picture better than a lot of other people. So I was thinking there must be a reason why God had our brains wired differently like that. Now, I do know, and the ADHD has a lot to do with your frontal right lobe, and the say if it was injured or something, and the dyslexia is in the back of the head, and oh well, I can't remember exactly how they described it, but my point being is the weird thing about it is I had dyslexia when I was little and hyperactivity, and but yet I literally was unconscious and died for a bit. When I was 12, I got hit in the head, in the back of the head, with a bat, and I had a scar all the way down the back of my head. And they took x-rays of it and stuff, and I bled inside my head for probably 2.5 decades before it completely healed. And then I had injuries and people hitting me, um, even after that injury. So it took like extra long to heal. But even through all that, I was able to learn to read and educate myself. So what I'm saying is I had dyslexia before my head injury, and still I was able to excel and go to college. And I started my first college course when I was 15. I got a waiver from the state, and I was able to go and take food service and management courses before I even graduated. And then I got my GED eventually, and I was able to go to college again when I was 34 and take typist clerk and software applications and human relations. So I was really fortunate that I was able to even do that. You know, I mean that's a miracle within itself. But what really was on my mind mostly today was people being in a depressive funk, and even like at your job, if you don't like your job and you don't like what you're doing, and maybe your spouse or parents or siblings or people that you know are letting you down right and left. And I mean, it may seem like your whole world is like falling apart. Even under those circumstances, you can find things of joy and things to laugh about, and sharing your joy with other people, even if you're having the worst day in your life. If you can find a joke or something funny to tell somebody else that could be struggling too, you're going to bring more peace and joy to your own life by not getting down in that slump and staying there. And that really is an important thing. If you feel yourself getting depressed, stop it. Just quit. You have to. You have to learn how to control that. And actually, this is directed specifically at somebody. I don't know if they're going to watch my video, but I hope they do, and I hope they take it to heart that it does your body, your physical self, more harm with your emotional. Your emotional becomes the physical, and the physical can become the emotional. If you're injured, you can get depressed. So either way, you really have to be careful. And this includes our food. This includes everything, everything we do in our lives. That makes me think too. Um, what does everybody think about this new? Uh, yeah, excuse the light. Whoa, now it's really getting bad. Woohoo! Whoa. What does everybody think about the new energy that's going to be turned on the 5th of January, the 5G? From what I understand, there's some places that have already done it. I mean, as far as I know, like our router in our house, that's supposedly supposed to be 5G. I don't think it is. But and I don't know if you have anything protecting your router and what you're around in your home. We do have some tinfoil over the router, but we also bought this screen that you can get on Amazon. And what it is it's literally a piece of cloth. I think it was like $9 or $17. It was uh well well, protection from the emissions from your router. I can't remember. I'll have to check it out. Remember, I made a video on it, but if you can't get that screen or something to put over your router, you can literally just cover it up with tinfoil, as so the the air in the back can still breathe, but it will keep that from emitting that at your body. And they say turn it off at nighttime and whatever. And I don't know. For me, I never felt like it affected me any. Doug feels like it affected him and made it so he couldn't sleep and whatever. I don't know. I think it might be because I'm very strong minded, and I just don't. I it's like I'm not letting this bother me. I know God's taking care of me, so you know, um, and people are hearing ringing in their ears, and and that's kind of common too with the weather changes and barometric pressure and different things. It's like when you get water in your ear, and you'll hear that echoey sound in there and stuff. Whenever there's weather changes too, that them type of things will happen in our hearing, you know. So I don't know. But what do you all think about this? Do you think that it's actually going to be a thing where they can use it? Okay, sunshine as directed energy weapon, or um that they would even want to do that to human beings? They've been doing it for centuries, literally, with the electronics and different things, and all the food, and how there's metallic things, metallic metal, like, oh, okay, I was reading, that's one article I did read, was how Minute Maid and Coca-Cola, Sprite, and juice boxes, there was a recall, which you might have known, for metals in them. Well, a guy did an experiment where he put electric into these liquids that they were talking about. Let me see if I can fix that a little better. A little better, maybe. Ooh, I have a light mustache. Okay. Well, anyway, uh, um, and he boiled down most of the liquids, what was in the liquid, and what was left. He took a magnet, and you could see the stuff that starts with a G and sounds like the stuff that's in a pencil, which is graphene. you know. So, okay, that's bugging me. Better. Okay. So, um, yeah, and you could see, and you've probably seen that before, how that so-called black goo or stuff that is actually in some foods and drinks and jabs and different things. Um, it's, I mean, stuff they're putting in our air, probably water, God knows. I have a list though of that I shared over on my Facebook yesterday, of the heavy metals that were actually in colas, and like I say, Sprite and juice boxes. And the recall was in Pennsylvania, but I'm thinking, okay, how can they just say it was there? Maybe it's all over the place and it just hasn't been discovered. Why is it from the water that they made it with? Or, you know, why and how did these heavy metals get in? And there was a list that was like about, oh, I'm going to say at least 15 things on there, maybe a little bit more. So I don't know. That was just really odd. But you can just look up Minute Maid recall or Coca Cola recall, and then you'll be able to come up with the article. I think I read, might have been on Daily Mail or one of those, you know, news platforms out on the web. It's an article that you read, but and there's probably some YouTubers that have that is information, like maybe they sat there and read the article to everybody and whatever. For me, it's just easier to see what I've come up with through the days or a couple days, and then tell you what's going on, and then lead you to wherever you can go to find that information if you want to do it. And I think I will go, and after I have this uploaded, I'm going to go over last week. Bruce Seasall compiled a really good video of his work, and as far as UFOs and moon views and sun photography, and so it was really great compilation of a lot of his work through the years. I'm going to go get a link and put a link to that in my video. So if some of you aren't familiar with his work, and I know a lot of you are, but if you're not, I would suggest just go look at it, and just look at all the stuff that is kept from us, that the so-called leaders in the world know about, and they're misleading people with that information, withheld information. And that's really what a lot of us are just trying to do, is share information that people may not know, or if we've heard it, we want to find out, is this real? Is it fake? Why would they fake it? Why would they hide it? All these questions that we have out here on our history and current events and stuff that's going on in our lives. So, and the biggest thing is really protecting the younger people in the world. To me, that really is. I mean, I'd stand up for any old person too. I mean, like, even if somebody was my age or even younger, say if we were riding a bus together, which I fortunately don't have to do. Not that I know that I'll have to do that, but if I saw somebody tired, it doesn't matter if she was a 20-year-old, it doesn't matter, 30 with a kid, an old man, or a teenager. If they looked more tired than me, whatever, I would give up my seat. What's the big deal? You know? So that's just the way I am. That's the type of person I am. So I'm just saying, age never really has mattered to me if a person's a decent human being, you know. And when they're not, it makes me wonder, what excuse do they use for being slimy? What excuse um, can you possibly use to act out of sorts in the world? Like, are you entitled to do something to me that I wouldn't do to you? Well, get this. You will pay for every shitty thing you ever do, one way or another. I don't call it karma. I call it, we see you and we're coming after you type of stuff. That's not karma. That's human beings connecting. If you want to call it karma, that's cool too. You know, I call it, God lets me hear your little brain, and you're not pulling anything and getting away with it. And look what I can do. I'm going to show you. So go ahead and do something to me. I dare you. Go ahead. I'd love it. That will give me the opportunity to talk to you like somebody's probably never talked to you before. So, and I'm really good at that. I'm gifted like that. So that's what I do best. Okay, everybody. I'm not just bragging. I got this brain and this mouth that God guides. And that's some shit right there. So, and not shit. Some cool shit. So, all right, everybody. Thank you for being here. I love you very much. And the people that have been out here for me, you rock. You're freaking awesome. Awesome. There's people that really don't get a lot of notice in life that should there's some people out there that do some remarkable things, and people just ignore it, and it's like, wow, and you don't think that's cool? Okay, that's weird. It must be jealousy, or I don't know, not sure why. So, okay, everybody, peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. As you notice, I show my face. I tell you where I'm at. You know why? Because I don't care. There's nothing anybody can do to me that I really care about one way or another. I'll deal with it. Peace. I love you. Have a good night or day, wherever you're at.